Suicide or assassination? The political murder of Dr. Robert Ouko, February 1990. Kenya awoke to a nightmare. The nation's foreign minister, Dr. Robert John Ouko, had been found dead near his rural home in Koru. The official story put out by authorities was blunt and almost absurd: suicide. But the body told a different story. His skull was fractured, his leg broken, a bullet wound pierced his head, and his body had been partially burned. It was a scene too violent, too messy, too deliberate to be dismissed so easily. And yet that is what the government tried to do. To understand why his death shocked Kenya and the world, you must first know who Robert Ouko was. Born in 1931, he rose steadily through the ranks of Kenya's civil service. Intelligent, diplomatic, and notably clean in a government tainted by scandal, he earned admiration both at home and abroad. By the 1980s, Ouko was Kenya's face to the world as foreign minister. He shook hands with presidents, walked the halls of power in Washington and London, and represented Kenya with skill and grace. To many, he seemed destined for even higher office, perhaps one day the presidency itself. But in politics, admiration can be as dangerous as betrayal. The higher Ouko climbed, the more enemies he made. In early February 1990, Ouko accompanied President Daniel Arap Moi and a delegation of ministers to Washington, D.C., where they met U.S. President George H.W. Bush. It should have been a diplomatic success. Instead, whispers began to circulate in Nairobi. Ouko, it was said, had been praised too highly, perhaps even more warmly than Moi himself. Some claimed he had embarrassed his fellow ministers on the trip. Others suggested he was becoming too close to Western leaders. In a government built on ego, loyalty, and secrecy, such rumors could be deadly. Just days later, on February 13th, Ouko disappeared from his Koru home. His bed was found empty, his government-issued car parked outside, untouched. To his family, it was as if he had simply vanished into the night. 2 days later, a local herdsman stumbled upon a horrific sight at the foot of Gadalila Hill: the broken, burned body of Dr. Ouko. The police insisted he had taken his own life. But the people of Kenya did not believe it, and neither did the world. How could a man shoot himself, break his own leg, fracture his skull, and then set his own body on fire? The absurdity of the claim sparked outrage, and President Moi was forced to order an official inquiry. Yet behind closed doors, powerful figures scrambled to bury the truth. To ease international pressure, Scotland Yard was invited to investigate. Detective Superintendent John Troon and his team combed through the evidence and quickly uncovered troubling leads. Their report pointed to a high-level conspiracy involving senior officials, including Energy Minister Nicholas Biwott, allegedly furious with Ouko after the Washington trip. But just as the investigation gained momentum, it was abruptly shut down. The British detectives were ordered out. The truth, whatever it was, would not be allowed to surface. Since then, theories have swirled. Some argue that Ouko's rising popularity made him a threat to Moi's rule, and he was eliminated before he could rise any further. Others believe he was killed because he knew too much about massive corruption scandals involving millions of dollars. And still others claim that the humiliation of fellow ministers in Washington was enough to seal his fate. Each theory has its supporters, but they share one chilling fact: not a single person has ever been convicted of his murder. For more than 3 decades, Ouko's family has waited for justice. His widow, his children, and the people of Kenya still ask the same question: who killed Robert Ouko, and why has the truth never been revealed? His death remains one of the darkest stains on Kenya's political history, a reminder that in the world of power, truth itself can be a dangerous thing. So was it suicide, as officials claimed? Or was it assassination, ordered by those at the very top? Decades later, the mystery remains unsolved. Justice for Robert Ouko is still waiting.